When you live in South Dakota, winter can suck. Hey everybody, it's Tristan Emond with Mindful Living Realty, a realtor right here in Rapid City, South Dakota, the gateway to the Black Hills. If you're thinking about moving to South Dakota, one of the things that most everybody is concerned about is the winter. What's winter like? How cold does it really get? So today we're going to talk about the 5 reasons it sucks and the 5 reasons it's kind of cool. And because negative news sells, we'll start with the cons. Con number 1, it gets cold. Now, depending on where you are in the state, it's a little bit different. East side of the state stays a little bit colder. In the Black Hills area where I am, we have the banana belt effect around the Black Hills. A lot of times we'll have some 40 degree, 50 degree days. In the middle of the winter time, that kind of resets things, melts any kind of snow, and just kind of makes it feel a little more like spring, even though then it comes and gets really cold the next week. So it doesn't always stick around. But did you know South Dakota isn't even in the top 10 coldest states, depending on the metrics that you're looking at? Take a look at this chart here showing the average temperature of every state in the US. Obviously Alaska, she's number 1, always going to be that way. But we're all the way down here at what, 10, 12, number 13. Somehow we're just a tad bit warmer on average than Colorado. And this is about the same if we look at the mean temperature over history from 1900 all the way to 2000. We come in at number 14 on the list. Of course, playing the average and mean game doesn't show the complete story, but it gives you an idea of how we rank with the rest of the United States. In the Black Hills area, we're usually hanging around between 20 and 30 degrees in the wintertime, but we'll often have weeks where it plummets below 0. And if you start adding in those wind chill temperatures, it can get really cold. The coldest it's ever been in the state of South Dakota is negative 58 degrees back in 1939. For reference, the coldest ever been in the country, negative 108 on top of a mountain in New Hampshire. Now you might be thinking, yeah, that was way back then. Lately it doesn't get as cold, right? Well, back in 2018, negative 41.
I'm not smoking, I'm breathing.
Reasons why winter sucks in South Dakota. Number 2, blizzards. South Dakota shares this wonderful title of Blizzard Alley with North Dakota and Minnesota. We get blizzards. And this is probably what you've seen in South Dakota. Whenever South Dakota is on the Weather Channel, it's because of some zero visibility blizzard going on. A lot of these times, these blizzards don't account for a lot of snow accumulation, but the wind blowing the snow across the road, causing reduced visibility and drifts, oftentimes can be the biggest issue. Sometimes the snow is just piled up under the overpass bridge on the interstate. But this isn't always the case. The snowstorm Atlas in 2013 dumped 5 feet of snow in October on us in one day. That's probably the craziest storm that I've been a part of since I've been here since 1990. That killed power in town for about a day and a half, but out in those rural areas where power was being transported by power lines, which all snapped, they were without power for weeks. Yes, Virginia, we get blizzards in South Dakota. Reasons why winter sucks in South Dakota. Number 3, ice. As I mentioned earlier, over here in the Black Hills area, we tend to have a lot of ice that kind of builds up after a while because it snows, then it melts. But during the night after it melts, it tends to freeze up again. So some years it seems like we have icy streets all the time. Now the main roads are usually taken very good care of with the sand and salt mixtures that they have. Usually those are pretty decent after a while. Sometimes though, your subdivision, your neighborhood could be a sheet of ice for a week. And the main problem is just getting out of your subdivision. On the eastern side of the state, where there's more moisture, sometimes you'll have ice storms. That's where you get this sleet that clings to the power lines and coats your cars. One year when we were coming back from Thanksgiving from Minnesota, we had to stop in Mitchell due to an ice storm. We woke up the next morning and there was about that much ice on the outside of my car. Driving in ice, it ain't no fun. Reason why winter sucks in South Dakota. Number 4, travel can be a pain. For all the reasons I just mentioned, trying to get from A to B, even on Interstate I-90 from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, can be a bit of a challenge during the wintertime. Now, when things get bad enough, they're going to close the interstate between certain towns to make sure that you're not in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota, spinning out in the ditch when you're miles away from any help. I remember a time one winter when the roads had been closed so much that Walmart couldn't even get their groceries because the trucks couldn't make it down the interstate. Even if the interstate is open, sometimes you've just got one lane that's clear, the other lane is snow-packed, so it's hard to really pass people. Then all of a sudden you're slipping all around because suddenly you're in an icy area, so it can be really treacherous driving in around the state during wintertime. Back in the 90s when I was installing hardwood floors in gymnasiums, we were on the east side of the state. There was already about 3 feet of snow on the ground, and we heard, hey, wind's coming, blizzard's coming, you need to get out of town. And so we took off, but only made it to Mitchell because they had closed the interstate at that point. That seems to be the place I get stuck in, I guess. We stayed in a hotel in Mitchell for about 2 days until we got tired of sitting around and decided to chance it and take some of the highways and head back west. We were going over drifts of snow. We were waiting for one guy to plow out a truck in another area. It was quite the experience. Reasons why winter sucks in South Dakota. Number 5, to escape the cold and snow, you got to go a long, long ways away. And hopefully there wasn't sleet the day before, which makes them de-ice the airplane, where you miss your connecting flight, etc., etc. Sure, Arizona, Texas, and Florida are certainly warmer, but there have been times when they have ice storms or 40-degree weather or really cold weather, so you're not really escaping the winter even by going there. One year over New Year's, we decided to go down to Arizona and go visit the Grand Canyon. Yeah, that was fogged over, snow on the ground, and 35 degrees. That was not what we were expecting in Arizona at all. However, 50 degrees in Phoenix, that felt pretty good.
I can't get up! Help!
Now let's talk about the 5 pros of being in South Dakota during the wintertime. There is something idyllic. Snow covered outside, the roads are closed, you can't go anywhere anyway, and probably shouldn't. You've either got a fire going or you got YouTube going with one of the crackling fireplaces on the TV, and you're just cuddled up in blankets, reading books, enjoying the day when there are no expectations because no one else is going anywhere either. I find memories of playing games with the kids when they had snow days, going outside and playing in the snow, having snowball fights. It just causes you to slow down, be in the moment, and remember what's important. Wait, did I just make snow days philosophical? Reasons why winter is cool in South Dakota, part 2? All the fun you can have. Whether you've got snowmobiles that you can take out, cross-country skiing, downhill skiing up here in the Black Hills, there's so many things that you can do during the winter to enjoy the winter and not just endure it. Cyclists pull out their fat tire bikes and they go running all around the trails here in Rapid City or a big hill near Spearfish. The trails that you hike in spring and summer are a whole different landscape in the winter. Winter hiking is amazing. And depending on the trail, that winter hiking could turn into snowshoeing. Plus there's snow sledding, snowboarding, snow forts, snowball fights, snowman building, so many fun things that you can do in the snow. Reasons why winter is cool in South Dakota, part 3? Ice fun. Now I know we talked about the dangers of ice on the roads and all around, etc. But there's also a lot of things you can do on or around the ice that are really cool in South Dakota. The first one on this list is ice fishing. I don't get it, not my thing, but ice fishing is huge all over the state. And then there's ice skating. Down on Main Street Square here in Rapid City, there is an ice rink that pops up during the wintertime where you can skate around and really enjoy the atmosphere. There's also an outdoor skating rink at Outlaw Park in Deadwood and a number of them in Sioux Falls. As you can imagine up here in the north, hockey is kind of important. There are numerous indoor ice skating rinks across the state for your kids to play hockey, for you to play hockey, to have some free ice skate time, or to have those figure skating lessons. Or you can take your snowmobile to Deerfield Lake, and a couple days they have races across the ice. This is something I remember from my childhood, Dad racing his snowmobiles across Lake Benton. And finally, check out a number of frozen waterfalls around the state that are really cool when they're frozen over. And if you're really adventurous, try ice climbing. Reasons why winter is cool in South Dakota, number 4? Christmas time. I was born in Minnesota, moved straight over to South Dakota. I've always been in the north. I just don't understand fake snowmen on the green lawn and 70-degree Christmas days. To me, the holiday time is around snow and cold. It just doesn't seem like Christmas if it's not cold enough. But aside from just that basic feeling, there are so many wonderful things in South Dakota during Christmas time. One of the really cool things that you can do is you can get a permit to go cut down a Christmas tree in the Black Hills. And as long as you stay within the certain parameters, you go find, cut down, bring home and decorate your own Christmas tree. There's nothing like the frosted glass on your windows as you're going around looking at the lighted displays, the hot chocolate in your hands as you're waiting for the parade of lights, and the crispiness of the air as you walk through Storybook Island Night of Lights. Plus, if you're one of those people that love to ski on Christmas, Terry Peak is open for business. Christmas is just better in the north.
You see how that's incredibly offensive? Yes, I do. That's why I said it.
Reasons why winter is cool in South Dakota. Number 5, the tourists are gone. Wintertime can be a great time as a local to go out and explore the Black Hills, do all the winter things that we were talking about. Plus, there's a lot more local events that are going on during the wintertime that are like South Dakota. You've got the Burning Beetle event in Custer, the Outhouse races in Nemo, Chinook Days in Spearfish, and that's just the stuff in the Black Hills. There's so many other cool small town winter events going on across the state. In the Black Hills, Iron Mountain Road and Needles Highway are closed, so you can either fat bike or walk up there at a time all by yourself. I know that there's so many different events and things going on in the rest of the state of South Dakota, aside from the Black Hills. Because I live over here, this is the stuff I mostly know about, so that's what I'm talking about. But there is so much fun to be had during the wintertime across the state of South Dakota. But no matter how much I talk about how winter can be cool in South Dakota, by about March, we're really looking for spring. But March really is more of a winter month. And on those years when we get an early snow, sometimes we can get snow as early as October. Sometimes we don't get snow until December. But on those years where October becomes the first snowfall and it doesn't end till April, and then we usually have at least 1 or 2 April or May snow showers, it can get kind of long. I remember one year where we got a spring snow May 24th, the Monday before the last day of school. They had to have a snow day the last Monday before the end of school. Welcome to South Dakota. You never know what you might get. The weather, she's unpredictable. If you like this video, make sure you check out this video talking about preparedness for the winter and this playlist about the wonderful things in the Black Hills. Thanks so much for watching. Have an amazing day. And remember, love where you live.
What's the matter? You guys cold? It's not so much the heat, it's the humidity that'll kill you.